here trying to take shit. Never been a broke nigga. All you do was gain shit. Throwing signs, looking like you break your fingers and gain shit. Until he hit the wrong spot. Shorty got his jaw rocked. The import back shot. Wheelchair shit bag. Cops locked with the DVD. Said it was pirated. But they done robbed the world. Let's lock them up on society. Kill my niggas and it's gonna be more than riot. Riot. 1, 2, 3, that walk train. Poppy spot. Let me get a fish strap. I don't really eat fish. But the nigga get frapped. Fed a nigga that was dirty. That's my brother. You heard me, I be on the corner. 1, 2, 3, that walk train. Poppy spot. Let me get a fish strap. I don't really eat fish. Put it in the gift wrap. Fed a nigga that was dirty. That's my brother. You heard me, sleep with your fishes. Wrap your body in a fish wrap. That hand, baby powder, rub together, bitch slap. You down, this man alone. Why don't you go back to your home? Furniture, these reruns, 3 pieces. He out begging for a quarter, cause his break he getting shorter. I ain't never mentioned that this grown man had a daughter. Afforded her with bootlegs. Ran into the cops scoring no more DVDs. And in a wheelchair, he can't support her. 6 shot at 38, then suicide on the border. But he wrapped the jabber up instead of traumatize his heart. Started hating white people, it's their fault from the start. Only getting wiser now, his words about to seem smart. I used to corner. 1, 2, 3, that walk train. Poppy spot, let me get a fish wrap. I don't really eat fish, but the nigga get wrapped. Fed a nigga that was dirty, that's my brother. You heard me, I be on the corner. 1, 2, 3, that walk train. Poppy spot, let me get a fish wrap. I don't really eat fish, but the nigga get wrapped. Fed a nigga that was dirty, that's my brother. You heard me, I be running through the world, but people ain't shit to me. People hate his own too if they ain't have a history. Little niggas run up on me, but why you dissing me? If this was back in my day, I'd make you cop a fit for me. Rolling up and down the ad, reckless on the red light. Early morning truck that came from a rough night. That part of the truck hit him, and it took his whole life. The last moment, so you thinking white fame and useless. If white people the hierarchy and black people succumb to it, just say no Robin Todd. He ain't never give solutions. Too much blood loss. This is it. This rap still in his hand, man. They spread on his blue fit. I be on the corner. 1, 2, 3, that walk train. Poppy spot. Let me get a fish wrap. I don't really eat fish, but the nigga get wrapped. Fed a nigga that was dirty. That's my brother. You heard me, I be on the corner. 1, 2, 3, that walk train. Poppy spot. Let me get a fish wrap. I don't really eat fish, but the nigga get wrapped. Fed a nigga that was dirty. That's my brother. You heard me. You heard me.
Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yahweh Shemalatah Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, to my sisters. This is the Lashawan Qadash class, you understand, Friday, for the I.S.U.P.K under Command of Junior YAHANNA since 1969. We've been putting it down, man. And what I'm going to show you today is just some basic Hebrew, just so you can be up on your game. We all claim that we Israel, but you understand how many outside of the I.S.U.P.K is actually speaking the ancient Israel? I mean, excuse me, the ancient Hebrew. We all claim to be Israel, but we have got to speak the Hebrew. Without knowing the Hebrew, man, we don't have anything. What I simply did right here is just wrote it up here. You understand what it was called back in antiquity? This is for all those nuts that say that the language was not called Hebrew. Duh, it was not called Hebrew. You understand? Hebrew is an English word. What they called it back then was Lashawan Qadash or Lashawan HaQadash. You understand? The holy tongue. Lashawan, La, Sha, and the one here. You understand? This is tongue. Meaning like tongue or language that you speak. You understand? And this is what the brother spoke. Lashawan Qadash. This Qadash right here means holy. You understand? So Lashawan Qadash, this is what you would call the Hebrew. Now, if you want to just say Hebrew in the Hebrew, then you would say I Baryath, but we will get to that later. You understand? So you can understand that later. But right now, Lashawan Qadash is what you need to know, because this is the language of antiquity. This is the language that the Israelites spoke This is the language that everyone that claims to be Israel should be speaking. You understand? So to all you fake groups out there saying the Lord has not given us the language, man, we have stones. You understand? We've done the research and pulled up the stones that the brothers have wrote in that it was in this language, in these same letters that I'm spelling out right now. You understand? So if you want to learn this Hebrew, then stick in this class, man. I'm going to show you something. You understand? We're going to start off with some basic Hebrew right now. So just give me 1 second. And I'm going to show you an easy way, man, to remember the Hebrew. You understand? I'm going to give you the easiest way, the most simple way to try and remember this Hebrew right now. I learned it the same way a lot of others may have learned it. You understand? When you learn in English, like when you learn the alphabet song, it's the same thing when you're doing with Hebrew. The scriptures say that if we want to become, you understand, Israel again, then we have to be reborn and we have to be as little children. So that's the same thing that you have to do when you also learning the language. You have to speak and you have to learn in the, you know what I'm saying, in the most simple form. And that's what this is. We'll go into the Syrian next week, but right now I just want to show you the language that is particular to you, to your people. You understand? Later on came the Assyrian, but right now I want to deal with the ancient language, the language of antiquity. This is it right here. Salakia. All right, the first letter that we're going to deal with is the I. You understand? It's a sideways triangle and one line straight down it. Let me know if y'all can see this right here. It looks like possibly you can. So this is what the I is. A sideways triangle with a line straight down it. And when you're dealing with the Hebrew, every letter sounds like ah, but with another letter in front of it. Okay, Most High in Christ, I appreciate that. So all you need right now is to understand that when you're dealing with the language, every letter comes out like ah, ba, ga, da. Like when you're dealing with the Hebrew, you have to understand that this entire thing is a masculine language. And a lot of the other languages on the earth are feminine languages, like when you deal with French or deal with English. It's all in the way that you form your mouth. So we deal with Hebrew, and Hebrew is a masculine language. That's why it sounds so heavy and so hard when you speak it, and you have to speak it from the pit of your stomach, you understand? Not like these feminine languages that allow you to speak from just your throat and to pronounce it and make it sound so sexual, they say, you understand? But this is the Hebrew. The first letter you're dealing with is ah. Now, also in Hebrew, every one of these means something. So when you're dealing with the ah is dealing with Allah. You understand? This is Allah. But Salaki, before we even get to this, I want to go ahead and give you the rest of the alphabet, and then I'll give you the breakdown of what these should all be. So I won't even deal with this right now. Now you have ah. The next letter is ba. Ba. After the ba, you have ga. Ah, ba, ga. Let me know if this is too close. If you can't differentiate between the two. So you got ah, ba, ga. Then you have da. Da is just a triangle. And one thing that you're also going to notice is that when you're dealing with the Hebrew and you start looking at the letters and a lot of the shapes in this modern world, then you will see that this is where a lot of it got, you understand, all the languages or all the shapes mostly come from our language. And even when you're dealing with the oldest language, you understand, on the earth, it's Hebrew because of Noah. You understand, Adam spoke Hebrew all the way up until Noah. So when the flood came, Noah spoke Hebrew. He taught Hebrew to his sons. His sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they spoke Hebrew. You understand? This is the letters that they would, or language that they were speaking in. And later on became writing. But this is what you have. Ah, ba, ga, da. Now, I'm going to jump down a little bit just so I can, like I said, I want to put it in some form of a song so that you can have it and remember it. So the first piece that I want you to remember is this. Ah, ba, ga, da. You understand? I'm not a singer, so excuse my language, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me how I sound on it or whatever, because a brother can't sing. But other than that, this is how you do it. Ah, ba, ga, da, just like the alphabet song, all right? So ah, ba, ga, da. The next one is ha. This is your ha. It may look like a backwards F or like an E, but with one line pushed up. You understand? Like I was saying, this is where they get all of the alphabet from. Even when you look at the word alphabet and you start looking at the Assyrian, they say Aleph and they say bet. So Aleph bet. You understand? So alphabet, same thing. That's what this is, and this is where this comes from. That's where the alphabet comes from. It comes from these letters. And just to be able to pronounce more words, the English had to add more letters into their alphabet. You understand? To whereas we only deal with 22 letters, and the English deals with 26. It's all about the phonetics. So ah, ba, ga, da. This is a ha. The next letter would be wa. Ha, wa. And then za. Everyone can see that this is a Z, obviously. You understand? This is where these letters come from. This is your Y, obviously. This is where all of your alphabets come from. It comes from the ancient Hebrew. So anytime you want to figure out what a word means, look back at the ancient Hebrew first. You understand? That's why you learning it, and that's why you're Israel, so that you can be able to know what the words are whenever they try to come up against you. You understand? So this way you're never confounded. Learn your language, and you will know the rest of the world's languages. You understand? Just by what you're getting taught here. So ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. Remember this. This is what I want you to remember as far as the song goes. So we're learning it in a song pattern. You understand? Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. One more time. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. You understand? So it's just like singing the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But instead, we're ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. You understand? Just give me 1 second. So take these letters, write these down in your notes, because this is going to be very important for you to have the memory, you understand, or the memorization of these letters. Practice make perfect, man. So ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. And like I said, we're going to go through all the letters, and I'm going to tell you what each of these letters mean. Every letter means something, and they also have a numerical value. Like ah, when you're dealing with ah deals with the number 1. So 100, 1,000, or anything of that nature. Like when you deal with our captain, Akkad Abarayim, he's 144,000. That's the ah. You understand that Akkad when you're dealing with that. But back on topic, remember the simple ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. You understand? Hope everybody got that. The next letter is the kha. it's going to be a difference between the ka and the ka. You will start to see it. You will see the difference when I write it up here. One, you have to pronounce with the, you understand, the back of your throat, man, no homo. But you have to pronounce it from the back of your throat because it hits with the ka. You understand? So this is a ka. C-H-A-A. C-H-A-A. Ka. Let me know if y'all can see this right here, or do I need to make it bigger? Can everybody see that? That's Tawab. Most High in Christ. So when you're dealing with the ka, you understand, a form or an example of using the ka would be in Kawa or Eve's name. You understand? That is how you know. That's how you know what this letter is. Kawa. Ka. And then you want the ta. It's a circle with the X in the middle. Ka, ta, and then ya. So at the beginning, remember the way that we had it. It was a, ba, ga, da, the first 4 letters. And then Abagada, ha, wa, za. Now I want you to put ka, ta, ya. You understand? Ka, ta, ya. It goes along with our song so that this way that you can remember it easy. Abagada, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya. You understand? And then next, this is the difficult part of the song, but it'll help you remember it as long as you go by these directions right here. Just put it in a simple breakdown. Abagada hawaza kataya. Now, here's the other ka. This is a ka with a K-A. You understand? Ka. This is a ka. And this is a ka. Khataya, ka. Then I want a la. And then a ma. And then a na. And then a sa. And an I. An I. And like I said, when you're dealing with the Hebrew, you will notice that all of the rest of the letters are masculine letters. You understand? But this is the only feminine letter in the Hebrew, the I. You understand? Made like a circle. This is the only feminine letter, or the only, I guess you would call not a vowel, you understand? But this, like I said, it's the only feminine letter that we have in the Hebrew when you're dealing with it. But I guess they would call it a vowel today, you understand, if you would, in terms of English. But other than that, remember the song. Abagada hawaza kataya ka la ma na sa I. And then I need a pa. So this is the song. Let's run it back a little bit. Abagada hawaza kataya ka la ma na sa I pa. You understand? Ka la, let me say it like kataya ka la ma na sa I pa. So when we go through the Hebrew, we're going to start off. Abagada hawaza kataya kala mana sa I pa. You understand? This is the way that you can have it down easily. Now, when you start to remember this, This is when you can go into learning the letters and learning everything else that learning the words and everything else that you need to learn. One way that you can also learn the Hebrew easily is if you go through the Lord's Prayer. I don't know a prayer that's more important than the Lord's Prayer. You understand? So if you go into learning the Lord's Prayer first, learn these letters. Learn the Hebrew letters first. You understand? Learn all of this first. Learn the sounds of it, learn what they mean, and then go into learning the Lord's Prayer. And this way you can learn how to put together sentences. You understand? You can learn conjugations and you can learn your letters at the same time. So, but this is where you start off. Remember that you have to build your house on a solid foundation. You understand? And this is how you start off, by building your house on solid foundation. We're supposed to be Israelites. We're supposed to be Hebrew Israelites. You understand? Hebrew because of the language that we speak, and Israelite because we are the children of Israel. Israel spoke Hebrew, and this is the way that we make sure that we always stay on top. You all, you know what I'm saying? You wonder why you see the Hispanics and other nations and they be speaking their languages and you feel left out, because they're speaking the language of their land. You understand? So now it's time for us to start speaking the language of our land and where we come from. So it's always, let's go back to the song. You understand? When we're dealing with the Hebrew, it's Abba Gada Hawaza Kataya Kalamana Sa. That's how we're going to do it. You understand? It's an easy way for you to remember the Hebrew, the letters at least. And when you start to remember the sounds, then you can match up the letters with it. You understand? The letters start to fall into place as long as you have this, as long as you have the sound down to it. You understand? And not only that, a lot of brothers, one way that they learn it is that just write it 5 times. You understand? The more you do it, of course, through repetition, the more you will have it. But singing the Hebrew song or singing the song like that, as far as like just learning the alphabet, that is the easiest way for you to remember anything. You remember all the rap songs in the world. You understand? Through recitation, through constantly saying it over and over and over. And this is another song for you to remember the Hebrew. We have got to be able to speak to each other in our native tongue. If we're not speaking to each other in our native tongue, then we have a problem. You understand? Like everywhere you go on this earth, people have a language and they have a way to communicate with one another. And they have, you know what I'm saying? They have English. We speak in English right now. We can speak English perfectly. If we can speak English perfectly, we should be able to speak Hebrew the same way. You understand? So this is what this class is always going to be about. You learning the basics of it and then learning everything else according to, you know what I'm saying, like the sentences and conjugations and other words. So every Friday, make sure you tune in and log in, you understand, so that we can go through these Hebrew classes and learn your language. It's only one way for us to be able to speak to one another, man, and that is through the Hebrew. Like English is getting played out. You understand? English has so many words that mean nothing. You understand? That's why we have the Hebrew, so that then this way we can work with each other and speak with each other, and we can talk to each other, and we can be like the Spanish. You understand? We can be like the French. We can be like everybody else. And this way we can talk to each other, and we can, you know what I'm saying, not include nobody else because we're speaking Hebrew. How many people have you heard speaking Hebrew in the mall? You understand? Or speaking Hebrew in the corner store? I ain't talking about the Assyrian. I'm talking about what we was just going through. The Abba Gada Hawaza Kataya Kalamanasai Apa. Like, how many people have you heard recite the Hebrew alphabet? Come to this class every Friday so that we can make sure that we get into it. Now I'm gonna move on. So we did the all the way up to the Pa. Now we're gonna go to the Tazah. Excuse me 1 second. Let me move the shit. Now we're going to go to the Tazah. You understand? Tza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and last but not least, of course, Tha. So always remember, when we're going through the Hebrew, we want to keep it in the song. Remember the song, so this way, like I said, it makes it easier and easier for you every time. So as you're going through the song, Most High in Christ, brother. So as you're going through the song, this way it'll be a lot easier so you can understand, have the Hebrew down. And then this way, I'm going to always ask you brothers on here how to say something. This is the first class, so we won't deal with it right now. But as we move on, we're going to go through conjugations and we're going to go through everything that we need to in order to learn our language. So back to the song. Abagada hawaza kataya kalamana SKYPE tza kwa rashata. You understand? You understand? So tza kwa rashata. And that's it. So as long as we go through that and you have that down, I hope everybody has it down. If I need to go back through it, I'm moving too fast, then let me know. Or you can just rewind the video. But either way, as long as you have that simple song in your head, then this way you will be able to remember the Hebrew alphabet. You understand? Remember, this is the most important language in the world because it's your language. This does not belong to anybody else except for Israelites. You understand? We were given this language. This is the language that we were given to keep. So therefore, we need to make sure we keep it. Again, we speak English properly. You understand? English comes with a whole uniform. It comes with a suit and goddamn tie. You understand? Hebrew need to come with some boots, some braids, or some head wraps. You understand? This is what this need to come with. So every time we see these letters or we hear brothers speaking these letters, you understand, or speaking these words, then we need to pay attention to these and we need to recognize that this comes from us. This is ours, man. This does not belong to anybody else. This has to belong to the Israelites, and we have to keep our way in this. So one more time with the song, and I'm gonna just sing it for you. So Abagada, when you're at home, just write these letters down and write them down in the stance that I'm giving you, so then this way you can break it down into the same song that I'm giving you. So Abagada hawaza kataya kalamana SKYPE tza kwa rashata. You understand? This is the way that you remember it. Tza kwa rashata. It makes it 100% easy. So remember the song, and then once you go into the Hebrew, it'll have you, you understand? It'll have you either way. This is something that you will learn and won't forget. The same way that you remember rap songs, you understand? It's the same way that you can remember the Hebrew. The same way that you go into them white schools and pick up they languages, you understand? We got brothers and sisters all throughout high school taking Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Spanish 3, advanced Spanish, you understand? French, all these other languages. They won't teach you these in school. That's why you're in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, so that you can have these, you understand? Most High in Christ, I'm glad that the song helps, because the song is actually, like I said, that's the easiest way to remember it, man. Because one thing that we don't do is when we're studying is we start to take studying as like is a boring task. Well, then you have to find a way to make it exciting. You understand? You got to find a way to make yourself connect to what it is that you're trying to study and trying to understand. And with Hebrew, it's simple. It's always, as I said, put it in the song. Abagada hawaza kataya kalamana SKYPE Tzaquarashata. And that's the song. You understand? So then this way, you'll have the Hebrew down. And now that you know the letters, we can move on to some words. You understand? Right now, we're going to be doing Hebrew 101. You understand? This ain't going to be advanced Hebrew. As the classes move on, then I can help you brothers and sisters with that. You understand? Because we have to always be able to say that the Bible was written in Hebrew and translated into English. And guess what? We speak the Hebrew. We cannot be telling people that we are the Israelites and yeah, the Bible was written in Hebrew, but we don't speak the Hebrew or that we don't understand the Hebrew. That's the whole point of us being in this class. So that then this way we can speak the Hebrew. No sweat. Yeah, I mean, if you need me to, then, brother, I can go through it all. You understand? I can write it smaller just so you can see the breakdown. And as a matter of fact, that's what I'll do right now. I'll do it right now so that you can just see the breakdown of the letters and how they need to be. It's going to be a little smaller so that that's how I can get it all on here. But give me just 1 second. Okay, Most High in Christ. And let me know if y'all can see all of these letters right here. Like I said, they are a little smaller, but you understand, I just had to make sure I could squeeze them all in there. Oh, Salakia says, I apologize. I've been calling you brother this whole time. I apologize. So, yeah, just make sure, just tell me if y'all can see these right here. Assault Carson, Most High in Christ. Make sure you give it off to Yatazaki if you haven't. You understand? He runs this down here. You understand? So it's all good. Get with that, brother, and he will definitely put you in and plug you in if you haven't already been plugged in. But just so I can show you all, this right here is what it is. This is how you learn the alphabet. This is how you learn it quickly, and this is how you learn it easily. Break it down, I guess, into what in music they call it stanzas or whatever. Excuse me. So a ba ga da ha wa za ka ta ya ka la ma na sa I pa to za kwa ra sha ta. You understand? The feet, is it back up? The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So as the feed freezes up, you understand, you can go off of here and go on to the YouTube. I don't know if anything has changed on there, but just let me know if it's all back good. But I'm going to continue teaching or whatever. I'm going to just go back through it one more time so that you can have it. Okay, Most High in Christ, I'll move it out. Can you see it now? Okay, Most High in Christ. All right, now this is how you remember. Remember, this is your Hebrew song right here. You go back to being a child again, and you learn this Hebrew song the same way you learn Kodak Black. You understand? The same way you learn Lil Wayne and Jeezy and all of them other niggas learn this, because this is the language that Christ spoke. This is the language that the Most High God speaks. All the angels, all the disciples, and the prophets spoke Hebrew. We claim to be Hebrew Israelites. We have got to speak the damn Hebrew. You understand? This is important. This is the most important language on the earth. If not for this language, you understand, it's just like this. If it wasn't Israel, it wouldn't be no goddamn Hebrew. You understand? That's how the Most High, that's how much he loves us. He gave us a separate language from everyone. You want to know the beginning of the languages? You want to know how all of the languages started? It started right here. It started with the Hebrew. It didn't start with anything else. Like I said, Adam spoke Hebrew all the way up until Noah. The flood came, Noah spoke Hebrew. He gave the Hebrew to his 3 sons. His 3 sons spoke the Hebrew, and so did the rest of the world. And then they bastardized the tongue. You understand? So back to the song. You want to learn it? Learn it easy. Abagada hawaza kataya kalamana SKYPE tazakwa rashata. You understand? It's the same way as the alphabet song. So the same way you would go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's what this is. Abagada hawaza kataya kalamana SKYPE tazakwa rashata. And that's the end of it. You understand? And that is the way that you learn the Hebrew alphabet the easiest. So take that home to your babies. Take that home to your husband. Take it home to yourself, man, and learn your language. This is your language. You understand? Now let's move on to a couple words. If I'm moving too fast, then holler at me. Let me know if I'm moving too fast. But I want to be able to get through a couple things right now. Like I said, I wanted to go back later and let you know the phonetical purpose to all the words, and also what each word, what each letter means. Each letter has a specific meaning. So when you, let's say if you're dealing with the Ga, just for instance, I just want to show you just really quick. When you're dealing with, or let's dealing with Ah, excuse me. When you deal with the Ah also equals Allah or cattle. That's what the Ah deals with. It deals with Ah. The Ah deals with Allah or cattle. You understand? And also just another little trick that you might want to show your kids or show your family when you're dealing with this is this right here. Let's just say we turn the Ah upside down, right? What does it look like? Instead, it looks like some cattle. Salaki on the drawing. I'm terrible at drawing. But if you draw this, you understand correctly, it looks like a little cow or something like that. Mine like more so like a rat, but you understand, this is cattle. If you just turn it upside down and draw the ears on it and draw a little face, and it's a cow, you understand, or whatever you're dealing with. But each letter has a numerical value. The numerical value for the Ah is always dealing with the 1. You understand? And so it's also, like I said, dealing with cattle or Allah. That's the Hebrew on it. But we'll touch on that later. Let's just get on some basic words so that then this way you can teach your children, you understand? You can teach your children or your brothers and your sisters how to speak these simple things. So when it comes to, let's just deal with something simple. Rewind it, like I said, rewind the video when you need to and go back and see the way to learn the Hebrew alphabet simple. You understand? Through the song that we have. And this way to teach you that. But we're going to move on to some words right now. And the first word that we want to move on, that we want to do is father. You understand? Because this word is one of the most important words. This is something that obviously we do not have in the black community. You understand? This is something that we are missing from the black household. You don't believe me? Check the record. It says 70% of black households have no father. This is what we need. But this is how you say it in the Hebrew, so we don't have to go on so too much. You understand? You're about to get me started teaching a whole nother class. You understand? So I ain't gonna touch on that. I'm just going to stick on the Hebrew. You understand? So Most High in Christ. This is what it is. So when you deal with it, let's go into father. Ba. You understand? This is father. This is how you would say father in the Hebrew. We ain't got daddy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no daddy in the Hebrew. But, you know, this is the equivalent. We gonna have to make some up for you sisters that like to call your, you know what I'm saying, call your husband daddy. You just call him out of one. It's just about as sweet. You understand? Call him out of one is damn near the same thing as calling him daddy. Most High in Christ to you sisters out there that keep it 100 like that. You understand? But let me just add these little things at the bottom to let you know the separation between the letters. You understand? We're going to get to words where the connectors come in, but these let you know to say the letters separate. So Abba. Abba is father. You understand? Now, if you want to say my father, then what you would do is this simple thing here. You would add a Yah at the end of it. So this would be my father. Abba Yah. You understand? Abba Yah. So my father. Now let's just say when you dig into the Lord's Prayer, right? And you start off with our Father, then you would say Abba Na Wa. So Abba Nawa. You understand? Abba Nawa. Now, when you deal with our father, this is another problem that the black people have in the black community. Understand? We don't know that when we're dealing with these, when we're dealing with the father right here, this is all of our father. He's not just your father or you got some special relationship with him. Then we all deal with the Most High the same. You understand? So that's how we all gonna have to deal with him as our father. This Nawa right here deals with our or we. So our or we, but also dealing with context. You understand? So in context, this is our father. Or like I said, you add the Yah to deal with my father. My father, our father. And this helps you when you're dealing with the first words in the Lord's Prayer. Like I said, if you want to learn how to speak some sentences when you're dealing with the Hebrew, you just want to jump ahead a little bit, you understand? Then you go dig into the Lord's Prayer and it'll show you how to put together sentences. You understand? It'll show you how to give conjugations and it'll show you how to break down simple words. So then this way you can have it. There's a little piece floating around the internet right now that has the breakdown of what you should be saying when you say the Lord's Prayer. It has it in the Hebrew and it has the Hebrew letters. So just look for it. Type in the Lord's Prayer in ancient Hebrew or in Paleo Hebrew and it should pop up. You understand? And you'll see it. So after father, we want to deal with mother. You understand? So if you haven't recognized right now, we just going to deal with the family structure. So that's what this is, the family structure right now. We have father, which is Ba. Next, we're going to deal with mother. You understand? Which is Ma. And remember, anytime you want to add my brother or my father or my mother, all you're doing is adding Yah at the end to make it possessive. You understand? To make it my mother, my father, add the Yah. And there it is. Now it's possessive. My mother, my father. Now, after father and mother comes what? Son and daughter, right? So you have son, which is bun. Now, remember how I said we had these at first? What they, you know what I'm saying, look like upside down frowny faces or eyebrows or whatever. You understand? This would be bana. That would not be bun. You understand? This would not be son. What we wanted to say is son. So what you have to do is add a connector. The little smiley face, you understand? For you trying to teach your kids or something like that, then this is what you would do. You would put bun for son. Now, as I said, just to keep it simple, if we want to say my son, then we would say banya. You understand? And add this at the bottom. This is our connector to make it bun. So it would not say banaya. It would say banya. You understand? Now this is my son. So now when you're speaking to your sons and your daughters, or you're speaking to your father or your mother, you will have some simple words to say to them. And the best way to know the Hebrew and know these Hebrew words, man, is to speak them every day. The same way you practice and rehearse with anything else, the Lord said we should rehearse the righteous acts. Now, if he's telling us that he's going to return to us a pure language, you understand, and Hebrew being the pure language, then damn, we should at least learn the Hebrew. You understand? I mean, we should at least take our time to know what the hell he going to be saying to us, because one thing, when Christ returns, he ain't trying to talk to everybody the same way. He's going to speak to you in the Hebrew. You understand? The angels are going to speak in the Hebrew. The prophets of God are going to speak in the Hebrew. So when you hear out the damn sky, bunya, and you say, huh? You understand? Well, I don't know what the hell you talking about. You understand? It's going to be a problem for you, man. So one thing that you got to understand is that when you're speaking this language, let's just say a general calls you, because we are the sons, and you understand, we are the sons of commanding General YAHANNA. So if commanding General YAHANNA was to say bunya to one of us, and we're supposed to look at him and say ma, which means what? M-A-H, ma. You understand? Or kun, out of one kun. Sir, yes, sir, yes. This is the way that we deal with it. So when the Most High said my son, he said bunya. You understand? Now, so we have son. The next word, I'm going to put son back up here. So bunya, that is son. Or my son, excuse me. Now when we're dealing with daughter, it's almost the same as bun. It's ba, na, tha. Now, usually what we would do if we wanted to say, you understand, have a word that says ba, na, tha, then we would put these at the bottom of each one. But we want to say daughter. So therefore, we're going to say ba, na. We're going to add our connector right here. Our connector goes straight from the na to the tha. You understand? So banath. And this is daughter. Teach your children this Hebrew. You understand? Call your children these names. Call them bun. Say bun. Say but not. You understand? Call them this. This is how you bring them up in the truth without, you understand, forcing too much on them at one time. You bring them into this first. You show them these simple things. You start speaking the language. So then they start speaking the language back to you. You understand? You are reciprocating the same energy back. So you say bun to them. They say kun. You understand? You teach them these simple things. So that in this way, as you grow up and as they come into the truth, these words and them having this language, it'll be just like a Spanish and English speaking person. So when you're dealing with English and Spanish speaking persons, they know how to speak Spanish and English more so because the parents spoke Spanish in the house and they learned English out of the world or at school. You understand? So that's what we want to do. We want to always use these words inside of the household. You understand? Speak the language. This is your language. This language does not belong to nobody else. It should be nobody on this earth speaking our language and bastardizing it at that. You understand? They shouldn't be saying Ben. It should be bun. To hell with saying Ben. You understand? Ben Israel. It should be bun Yasha Allah. That's the way that the Most High put it. So that's the way that we should speak it. It should not be Bente or whatever the hell they be calling, or Korti or Aki or whatever the hell they want to say. You understand? It should be Ak and Akwat. That's how the Most High put it. So that's the way that we should speak it. We should speak everything in its original form. That's why the scriptures say that it is simplicity in Christ. You understand? This is the most simple thing that we have to deal with right here. The Hebrew. The Hebrew, I've heard somebody say that the Hebrew was a what they call it, like a savage language. You understand? Which was a goddamn lie. This is not no savage language. This is the holy tongue. You understand? So when we go into Lashawan, you understand, or Lashawan Qadash, or Lashawan Qadash, it's the holy tongue, the separate tongue. This is the language that built every goddamn thing that you see and that you don't see. You understand? This is the language that when he said, let there be light, he spoke that in Hebrew. You understand? So if you want to speak the same language as the creator, then this is the language that you speak. This is the language that you live by right here. We should not be speaking English the way that we speak English. Like every Saturday when I go out on the corner, I ask brothers and sisters, do you even know what language you spoke before you came on the slave ships? And I get the same answer every goddamn time. No one knows. You understand? No one can understand what language we spoke, or you understand what symbols did we use, or none of that. All we know is that we speak English now, and that's what we're dealing with. So we have to break away from that and break into speaking our own language, speaking the language that the Most High God gave us. So if you want to say son, then you say bun. You want to say daughter, then you say banat. You understand? That is how we deal with it. So son, daughter. We have mother, we have father, we have son, we have daughter. Now let's say, let me see, we want to go into brother and sister. Now this is something that, you understand, this is UPK 101. You understand? We call each other Ak and Akwat all day long. And to be real with you, all Israel ain't Israel. You understand? They are my brothers, but the only real brothers I got, like Christ said, who is my mother, who is my brother, except those that serve the Most High God. You understand? Do the will of the Father. So I call anybody that's in the I.S.U.P.K bun. You know, excuse Salaki. I call them Ak, or I call them Akwat. Outside of that, you might get an Akwat, but you understand? This is who I deal with. Anybody in the I.S.U.P.K, you understand? Because I know that these men and these women are truly the ones that are going to lay down their life for me and do what's necessary for us to get ahead. What's going on? But this is what it is. So now we're going to move on to brother and sister. We have father, we have mother, we have son, and we have daughter. So now we're going to move on to more things in the family structure. His brother, and Ka. So it's not Ka. Instead, you have to add your connector. Do not forget this connector. That's one of the most important things, you understand, when you're writing the language down. You understand? We had to etch it in stone at first, so they wasn't adding connectors. The connectors came later. But since we're having to relearn the language, then the connectors are very, very necessary. You understand? So we can understand these simple things. So Ak, which is brother. I was about to put an A, Salakia, brother, but you understand, it's just a nigga in me. But you understand, this is brother when we're dealing with the ancient Hebrew. So anytime you want to say Ak or say brother, it's Ak. Now we want to say my brother. Remember, Akya. You understand? Oh, and this is another thing. For everybody else that's out there jocking our slang, you understand, and saying, trying to speak the Hebrew, but don't have it all the way down, the word is not Ak-yums. You understand? Excuse me, the word is not ox. You understand? A-H-C-H-S. The word is not ox. You understand? That's an animal. The word is Ak-yum. So when you want to make it a plural thing, whenever you want to make it plural, it's Ak-yum. Or whenever you want to say fathers, Abayum. Amayum for mothers. You understand? So whenever you see this with the yum, more than likely at the end is making it plural. You understand? So brothers is not ox, it's Ak-yum. So please get this right. You understand? So we deal with brothers. And this is how you spell it. A-H-C-H-Y-A-M. Akim. Brothers. Ak-yum. You understand? Most High in Christ. I'm glad we got that. Now we're going to move on. I'm going to leave this up here. We're going to move on to sisters. Or to sister. Ak. Wa. Tha. Ak. Wath. So sister. And just in case you haven't, you understand, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page, I.S.U.P.K. Houston. You understand? But like I said, you want to learn how to speak every other language on earth except the language that's yours, man. Speak your language. Hebrew is your language. Hebrew is the language from the Most High God given to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Speak this language. Learn this language. Learn these words. Learn the Hebrew alphabet. Go back earlier into this video and you will see the easiest way on how to learn the Hebrew alphabets through a song. You understand? The same way you learn a lot of other things through songs, you can learn the Hebrew alphabet through the songs too. So just rewind it probably about 10 or 15 minutes and you will see the Hebrew alphabet and how we're speaking it. You understand? And the way that you learn it through that song. But now we're moving on to some simple words within the family structure. Like I said, we got Ak-yum. So brothers is not ox, it's Ak-yum. You understand? Now we got sister, Ak-wath. Now we want to make it plural. We want to add the yum at the end. Again, Ak-wath-yum. You understand? Salakia. For women, it's a na, not a ma. Salakia. For women, it's a na, not a ma. So ak, wat, yun. For brothers, it's a yum. So ak, wat, yun. Excuse me, ak, yum. And for sisters, ak, wat, yun. You understand? That is the difference between male and female when you're dealing with the Hebrew. So we have father, we have mother, we have brother, we have sister, we have son, and we have daughter. These are the basic things that you need to speak within your household. We have got to make sure that we are speaking these languages, like I said, every day. If we are not speaking these languages every day, then it's pointless for us to be called Hebrew Israelites. You understand? We're supposed to be speaking Hebrew. That's the whole point of it. And now, I just want to give us one more word, you understand? Because this is a small word, but it's a word that is important for everybody to understand. Because you want to be a friend to the Most High. You want to be a friend, you understand, to Christ. You want to be a friend to the disciples. You want to be a friend to the 144,000. So I'm just going to show you this simple word on how to say friend. You understand? And that word is ra'ai. Just like a lot of words in Hebrew sound similar. I wanted to say, you understand, just like it says rai in Hebrew, but this word is ra'ai. You understand? So this is friend that we're talking about. Ra and I. But it's not ra'ai. That's not how you pronounce it. You understand? Put it together. R-A-I. And this word is friend. So go back, learn the Hebrew alphabet. Like I said, the best way to learn it is through the alphabet song that we have. And for everybody that missed it, a quick rundown. The song goes, Abagada Hawaza Kataya Kalamana Saipa Tazakwa Rashata. Break it down that exact way and say it that exact way, and you'll have the Hebrew down pat easy. Now go through these, I believe it's 5 or 6 words. Go through these 7 words, excuse me, and have these words and use these words every day until next Friday. You understand? Write these words down every day until next Friday. So then this way we can move on to something else and you can have you understand, we'll have more vocabulary. That's what this class is all about. Building your Hebrew vocabulary. If you want to understand what all the words in the world mean, you got to come to this Hebrew class. You understand? And you will get not only understanding of what all the other languages and their words mean, but you will understand the scriptures when you read it. And you can go back and read the Hebrew. You understand? We have Bibles that are written in the Lashawan Qadash. All you got to do is contact the I.S.U.P.K and you can get one. You understand? But other than that, next week we're going to go back and we'll learn the Assyrian. This is the paleo for anybody that wants to look it up. So anytime you see letters like these that says Lashawan, Qadash, you understand? These are the letters of the paleo. You want to know what it's like to have letters and write the letters of the ancient of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? Of all the ancestors from the disciples all the way down to Christ, or the prophets all the way down to Christ. This is what this is. You understand? That is exactly what this is. So other than that, we can get into a couple other things, and I just want to show you just 1 second. I'm gonna have to kill this feed that's on Facebook. Give me 30 seconds, and I'll be right back with it. You understand? And I'm gonna show you the what each one means. So just give me a couple seconds, man. As of right now, I'm just trying to get these the breakdown on what they mean. I just lost them off of my phone, so I have to use this one right now. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Just give me a couple seconds. Okay, now we back with it. I'm going to share this real quick, and then we can get back at it. Okay, Salakia, Most High in Christ, we back. I just had to get these meanings for you just real quick. I lost them off on my phone, so now we got them back. Anyway, no cowards, no excuses, man. Here we go. So let me just pull this down just a little bit. Okay, Most High in Christ. All right, here we go. Now let's just deal with the meanings of what all these things are. You understand? So if you want to know what the Hebrew alphabet means, like I said, they all have numerical values. The next class we'll go over the numerical values. But this class, I want to bring out what each letter means. Each letter it represents something. You understand? It represents a certain thing. Like I pulled out earlier about the how it represents the cattle. And I'm going to put that back up here for you. So when you're dealing with the it deals with Allah. And these are just other words that you can go home and learn. You understand? Go home and learn these words too. Put these words in your book because these words matter. These words matter just as much as any other word. You understand? Cattle is a very important word because this is how we ate. You understand? This is what we did to make our money. This is how we made it through those cold winters. You understand? When the white man came over unto America and, you understand, was damn near starving to death. This is what helped us. The Indians spoke Hebrew. So when they were saying to the white man, Allah, you understand? They were telling him we have cattle. You understand? So you want to put the the la, and the pa. That's Allah. And that is cattle. So that's exactly what this is. You understand? Every letter means something. You're dealing with the Allah. That's how you write it in Hebrew. And this is what it means and what it stands for. It has a value of a, you know what I'm saying, to represent some type of force or some physical thing within this world. You understand? So cattle is Allah. Now, when you deal with the Ba, it is going to be Bayath. So you have the Ba, the Ya, and the Tha, which is house. And I'm going to give y'all something that's real heavy that you might not have known. This word right here, Bayath, when you see the word Bethlehem in Hebrew, it is Bayath Lacham, which means house of bread. You understand? So Bethlehem is Bayath Lacham, or house of bread when you deal with the Hebrew. But that is what it represents. That's what the Ba represents. It represents house. You understand? So we have which deals with Allah. That's how you say it in Hebrew. And this is the word that it represents, or the thing that it represents. Ba, Bayat, how you say it in Hebrew, and what it represents. It represents the house. These are all major keys that we need in building our nation. You understand? Not only the language, but what these things represent. We should have these things at our own goddamn houses. You understand? We should all be able to have some cattle and to be able to have a house. As you know what I'm saying, just as a person, you understand? As a black man and as a black woman, that is Hispanics and Native Indians included. These are simple tools that we need to be able to build our nation and to be able to build our house. We have to have some form of food, you understand, or some form of way to make some money. And cattle is a damn good way to do it. You can use it for money, you can use it for food, you can use it for clothing. You understand? And it's the same thing right here. House. We should all have somewhere to stay in Israel. You understand? We should all be able to, we should be back in our land and not be able to have Christ come through and have to live from pillar to goddamn post because we are under the reign of some damn devils. You understand? We should be able to live in Israel in our own house. Israel is our house. We should be able to be there. But I ain't gonna, like I say, I ain't gonna dwell too much on that. You're gonna have me going into a whole nother class. But the Ba, now we have the Ga. It's a lot. It looks like a 7. So the Ga represents Gamal, or the camel. So when you look back at Genesis, you understand, and Adam said that he was naming all the animals, this is the name of the camel. Is it not close? Gamal, camel, is it not close? All they did was change a few letters. Like when you start to go into phonetics, you will start to see that when people, they just start to switch out certain vowels in the letters and then damn near make it a whole new word. You understand? Or they'll change very few of what was in the letter or what was in the word, and then they'll make it a whole new word. Gamal and camel. You understand? So you have your Ga, your Ma, and your La. Remember, put this at the bottom. Excuse me. Ba, Yath. Ah, La. Ga, Ma. So, Ah, Ba, Ga. Here's the Da. Now, when we deal with the Da, this is the door. If you think about it and you look at a tent, you know what I'm saying? You look at the Gadites and the Reubenites, how they were living over here, and they stayed in the tents. This is what the door of the tent looked like. You understand? If you just expand it a little bit and put the rest of it, boom, there you go, man. This is the dark part of the house. You know what I'm saying? When you walk into the tent, this is the inside of the tent right here. Just imagine walking into a tent. That is what the da looks like. It looks just like the door of a tent. You understand? And that is what it represents, which is da-la. Da-la. Fa. Da-la. So da-la is the door. You understand? So back to the song. Abagada. For everybody that missed it. You understand? The easiest way to learn the Hebrew is through the song. Abagada. And this is what they represent. The A represents Allah, which is cattle. The Ba represents Bayat, with his house. The Ga represents Gamal, which is a camel. The Da represents the door. You understand? And that is what that is. Excuse me. And this is how you say it in Hebrew. Da, la, for door. Add this to your vocabulary. You understand? Add it to your vocabulary. Da, la. Now on to the next set, just real quick. And after this, man, we're gonna call it a wrap. That's gonna be the end of it. So Abagada. Now we're gonna move to the Wa. I stayed off the Ha for a reason. We're gonna come back to the Ha, you understand? But the Wa, which is Wa, which is a hook. So Waza, the Za represents weapon or Zayan. So the Za represents a weapon or a Zayan. If you've ever seen like the weapon that this represents, it's like a stick, you understand, with a blade on each end, like a long blade. So imagine holding a stick in your hand. It's a blade on this end and a blade on this end, pointing in separate directions. That would be the weapon of choice for this Za. You understand? So Waza. So when you go through the alphabet, it's Abagada Hawaza. We're just missing the Y, but the Ha, but we'll come back to it. So Hawaza. Now, Cha. Excuse me, we'll go to the Ya. The Ya represents hand or Yad. That is what that is. Yad. The Ya represents a hand, which is Yad. And then a Ka represents the palm or Ka. K-A-P, Ka. So the palm of the hand, if you look at it and let's just say you turn it up, that's what these lines are that's in your hand. Is this what this is right here? So this represents the palm of your hand. So and you have to remember, when we were speaking the Hebrew at first, we are people that speak with our hands. This whole video, I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Touching head, moving head, doing this. We are people that speak with our hands. So even when you go back to some of the first pictures of the Hebrew, when they were dealing with pictures, you know what I'm saying, pictures or pictographs, there was a man standing up with his hands raised, which meant Yah. You understand? Or was dealing with another letter. So we have to always remember that these letters are always dealing with something that we deal with every day. So this is the Yah. Now we have the Ma. Ma, which will be water. Ma represents water. or my young. Remember, speak these languages to your children. Go to your children and ask them for my young. You understand? Tell them to bring you my young, and tell them to put it baka, or in your hand, or in hand. You understand? Use these words, or in the palm of your hand. You understand? Or tell them to put it in bayad, in hand. That's what we have to do. Learn these words, speak these words every day, and we'll move on. You understand? We'll gain the knowledge that we were supposed to have through the scriptures. Because one thing is, when you go through the scriptures and you read it, you will start to understand exactly what the Hebrew is saying. You understand? So let's move on to Sa. Sa, which would be Samak. Samak. You understand? Which is flag or support. That's what the Sa is, for flag or support. You understand? That is how we deal in Israel. Remember, all these things that I'm putting up are basic things that we need within our nation. These are things that we have got to have to be able to grow, to be able to have a nation. We got to have a language. We have got to have cattle. We got to have a house. The camels help us get back and forth. You understand? We need weapons. We need to put ourselves to work with our hands. We have got to have these simple tools to be able to move forward. And that's what I'm showing you right now. And just showing you what each letter in the Hebrew alphabet, what it represents when you're dealing with something, you understand, that's in the world. So then we have I. The I, oh, that's an ugly I, Salaki. I represents Ayan. Ayan. I-Y-A-N. Ayan, which is the I in your head. You understand? If you want to say eyes, then you would add a yum. Ayan yum. You understand? Ayan yum. Those are eyes. And that is what this letter, the I, represents. The only feminine letter in the Hebrew is this letter, this circle. Represents I. Like the eyes that's in your head. You understand? And then we have the Pa. Which represents the mouth. So when you have Pa, this is a Pa, P-A, and you spell the mouth P-A-H, Pa. You understand? Or Pa and Ha. So Pa, and a connector on it makes it Pa, which is mouth. You understand? We got 3 more, and that's going to be that. Next week, I'm going to bless you with some more words. You understand? We're going to go back over the Hebrew alphabet, over the song. Every week, we're going to make sure we go through the song for new beginners. You understand? For everybody that's coming into the truth and just now learning to speak the language. But if this is what you want to do, then you have got to learn to speak the Hebrew. You cannot claim to be a Hebrew Israelite and not speak the damn Hebrew. You understand? I have so much Hebrew that I want to speak to my brothers and sisters. You understand? That's why I'm teaching the Hebrew class, so that I can be able to speak and have full conversations with troopers, with officers of 50 all the way up to the generals. You understand? That's why we have the Hebrew classes, so that we can do that with one another. So that when it comes to other people speaking their languages, hell, let them speak their languages. We have our own language that we can speak with one another. We ain't got to make up no language. The Lord already gave us a language to have. The Hebrew, the Lashawan Qadash, you understand? I-Bar-Yath from the past, man. That's what the I-Bar-Yath means. Now we just got 3 more letters and we gonna move. You understand? That's gonna be the end of it. So we have the Ra. So Ra represents Ra'ash. Which means head. So when you see the scripture that says that the man is the head of the woman, this is the word head. You understand? Ra'ash. Ra'ash. That is what that is. That is what the Ra represents. It represents head. Anytime you see this word, that is what it is. Ra'ash. You understand? The next one is the Shah. And like I said, when you going through the Hebrew alphabet, look at the Hebrew and then compare it to English. Compare it to Greek. You understand? You will see that all of the letters that we use are the same damn letters that they using for numerous things. And the letters that we use are some of the shapes that they call different things. Like the I that we have is nothing more than a circle. And they call that letter a circle. You understand? So they've taken our letters and made them something else. So this way we are not able to identify what is ours. It's mixed in the same way they want us to be mixed in. But no, we are going to learn the Hebrew. We're going to learn our language, and we're going to come back to the Most High with the pure language, just like he said that he was going to give us. This is it right here. So the Shah, the word that we're going to use is shun. You understand? And this represents the root of the tooth. That is what the Shah represents. The root of the tooth. You understand? And remember, these are all things that are in the world today. Everything that we brought up are things that are in the world, all the representations. These are things that we need to build a nation. These are things that a person needs to just survive, period. You understand? That is what all of these Hebrew words and letters represent and help us to do. They help us to realize the things that we need within our nation. And the last one here is the Tha. What does the Tha represent? The Tha, the word is Tha-Wa, which means sign. S-I-G-N, sign. That is what it is for. So if you want to ever come back to you understand, to the perfect understanding of what these Hebrew words mean. So if you want to just go into the scriptures and then break down every word, like let's just say the word beginning, which is Ra'ashiath. You understand? If you want to go through every word and break down every letter just to use these letters, you understand, to use the what they mean and break down every word, you'll get a whole new understanding of what the Hebrew means when it's translated over from English. You understand? So when you say, okay, like Adam, you understand? A lot of people say that translates into man, but it doesn't. You understand? That's Ayash. It really translates like from the ground or from the dirt. You understand? So that's what I mean. When you go into breaking down also every letter of it, it gives you a whole new understanding of what it's supposed to be. So I hope that everybody got that down. I hope that everybody understands the importance of learning the Hebrew. You understand? We're going to have this class just like they do. You understand? Just like we do in the I.S.U.P.K. This class is going to be every Friday, man. So log in, you understand, on Fridays and put yourself in this class, because this is going to be one of the most important things that you have to understand besides the law, statutes, and commandments. The breakdowns are perfect. You understand? It's good to have all the breakdowns, but for us to be able to work together as a nation, a part of that brotherhood is knowing how to speak to your brother. You understand? And if you can't speak to your brother or to your sister in the language that the Lord gave you, then what's the point of calling yourself just a Hebrew Israelite? You understand? It's a perfect thing. You understand that the language is not what's going to save you. And that's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But what I am saying is this language belongs to you. You understand? Lashawan Qadash is the language that was given to you. You are the people that was given the language to keep. So therefore, it is your responsibility to learn it the same way that you are learning Spanish because you're in a Spanish-speaking state. You understand? The same way that you learn English, the same way that you got your back beat for you to learn English, it is time now for you to learn the Spanish. To learn the Hebrew, because that is the language that the Lord gave to you. And we ain't going to beat your back to do it. You understand? We just going to show you here in class. You pick it up. You want to, this coming to Hebrew 101. That's where we are right now. And then as we move along, it'll become advanced Hebrew. You want to learn conjugations on how to break these words down. You want to learn what certain words in the Bible means. That's what this class is for. Now, on top of that, you understand, I just want to say shalom. I'm Officer Barak Kamav, the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, 1969, under Commanding General YAHANNA. If you do not have a head, you do not have a body, man. Get into these classes. Learn the breakdowns, you understand, Monday through Thursday. But on Friday, your ass needs to be learning some Hebrew. Straight up like that. Man, shalom to all my brothers. Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shabbarakatham. And shalom to all my sisters. Yahweh Shema Alatah, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shah. Peace, man. Share this video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I.S.U.P.K. Houston. 100, man. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shema Alatah, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shah. You understand? Call Palau, Yahweh Yahweh Shah.
You heard me, wasn't always homeless. Homie had mad who could afford 1,000 fish wraps plus gator shoes.